Hey loves, it's Janelle, your favorite relationship coach and pop culture commentator. And we are on The Saga Continues. This is round number 3. And honey, today we're getting into the whole Swifties versus Kayla Nicole situation because the hypocrisy is wild. The internet's trying to drag Kayla over decade plus old tweets she's already apologized for, but somehow Taylor Swift's entire fandom forgot about her man's racism and her own messy behavior. This isn't just about a costume or a tweet. This is about how accountability only ever seems to apply to black women. Let's talk about it.
Hold on, so we're actually holding celebrities accountable for their old tweets? Oh, that's wonderful. So are we gonna hold Taylor Swift's fiance accountable for his old tweets? Or maybe some of her boyfriends? Yeah. It's only when it's a black woman, right? Okay.
About the whole Kayla Nicole thing, I can't say that I wasn't once that girl. She hated everybody equally. I don't think y'all wasn't here for prime Twitter, okay? You could say anything you wanted to say and it didn't matter. Why? Because it was honest feelings. It's not like she targeted a group. Everybody was annoying. And I'm telling you, I was the same way. Y'all are gonna cancel me. That's why I'm glad I got rid of my Twitter. And I don't think you can go back and find deleted tweets, because the way that I would talk about anybody, if you cut me off in traffic, I would call your dead grandma all types of names. Why? Because you pissed me off. Twitter used to be a diary for people. What TikTok is, except for we typed it and we put it on Twitter, a pure diary for us to put what we want. Why? Because people were annoying. Now, if she said something that was super targeted, like I get it, but it just seems like the people who pissed her off. She talked about like I don't know, y'all. Do I got selective cancelization? I still stand not with Taylor, with Kayla. Thank ya.
I just saw the Kayla Nicole tweets. Let me tell y'all something. 2011, 14 years ago. I think she 30. I think she was born in 91. She was like 20, 21. And let me tell you, unless y'all can go back and slap the hell out of 20-year-old her, ask her where she stands on that shit now and move on. Because y'all would have hated to see the dumb shit I was saying at 20. I wasn't on Twitter. Again, this isn't absolving. What y'all want to do? Y'all don't think a motherfucker... This isn't a white person making these posts. There's a lot of... The experience of blackness and how you navigate your blackness and the language you use and your understanding of... I never used the word texturism before I was 35. It was a white person who used the term BIPOC towards me in like 2015. And I was like, what the fuck is that? Taylor Swift was getting her pussy gutted by a man who called black women a bunch of bitches. And in response to her getting stretched and cream pied by a racist, she brought Ice Spice out for a bullshit ass feature. I don't know the girl personally, but ask her the question. Ask where she at. But I'm like, I thought this was a couple of years ago, like she was 20. Again, an adult. But I believe the black experience is individualized. And the tweets that I saw, a lot of it was talking about texturism and her using the word nigga and shit like that. Dumb shit. And for me, that looks like the type of jokes you tell when all your friends are white. Because I've been there. It's just not documented. It's just not documented. And I'll be real with y'all. You got to be open to a little bit of that shit to fuck a white man anyway. And I'm not trying to activate nobody. I'm saying that as someone who dated white men exclusively at a time in my life, to be that close to white supremacy, to have white supremacy in your guts, There's a lot of work that has to be done. You're challenging yourself around your blackness. The world is challenging yourself around your blackness. I can't imagine. That's hard shit to do when you're a kid, when you're young. Frontal lobe is developing. You're adolescent until the age of, as an adolescent sex educator myself, you're an adolescent at the age of 24. Y'all just had a whole tribe of Republicans talking about sending people to gas chambers, and they were in their mid-30s last week. So that's what I think about it. I think it's childish and dumb, and I hope she doesn't I hope she doesn't have those same beliefs, and I would love for her to address those things, and I don't think it should have to be a deep-ass addressing, because, again, it wasn't, oh my God, I don't know, some egregious shit where it's like, oh, bitch, that's wild. But texturism and all these other things, I wish I would have been more aware of the beauty of my blackness and understood how I was a tool of white supremacy. I wish I would have had that understanding far younger in my life, but I didn't. So I don't know what else to say. And if y'all don't think this wasn't planned because of these damn Swifties being mad, so this whole time this lady is trying to be Miss KKK 2026. Child.
Watching y'all pull up Kayla Nicole's old tweets is making me want to go delete any old account I have, even the current ones I have that I've been having for a very long time, because God forbid I become famous one day and y'all pull up some shit that I said before I even had a frontal lobe. Them tweets was from 2010, 2011. How old is Kayla Nicole? I'm guessing at that time she would have been like a teenager or something. And yeah, I'm using the she was young excuse because y'all always using the he was drunk excuse. She was young. And I love the perspective that Dominique gave, because the things that I said when I was young, y'all would probably look at me crazy as hell. I remember something I said about my own dad on Facebook. That man must have pissed me off, because I went off on his ass on Facebook, and then it popped up in a memory. I was so freaking embarrassed, and I deleted the post that I made immediately, because the person I was before, or the things that I thought were okay to say, is not who I am today. I would never say nothing like that today. I was developing back in 2010, still developing. But the things that we said when we were kids, before we even had a frontal lobe, I think it should be voided.
The fact that Swifties have gone all the way back to 2010 to get some old tweets of Kayla Nicole's proves that video worked. I mean, y'all had to go so far back, you needed a DeLorean to get there. Talking about, oh my God, look at what she said. I can't believe she said that. Like Taylor Swift didn't date Matt Healy. Be for fucking real.
When black people seen her drop this, we all had the same reaction. My girlfriend watched this, she was like, I'm no better than the man. All black people was like, damn, Trav, you tripping, brother. But from the white perspective, she is gold. White people seeing this and was like, that black bitch can't fuck with Taylor. Like, I literally told my girlfriend last night, I was like, I bet if I go on white side of TikTok and see like what they're saying about her, it's gonna be not good. So this morning I got on TikTok and was typing in like white people reaction to Kayla Nicole. It was just what I thought. So of course, you know, white people, they're gonna bring up money in this situation, because you can't bring up looks. I mean, I don't know, they think Taylor Swift might be prettier than her. I don't know. Like, they feel like Trav done heavily upgraded. But black people, we know you ain't it. Like, look at my boy Trav. He had charisma, he had swag. You took all his superpowers away. I don't know what you did to that man. He was a borderline brother. I don't know where you found him. Lost all his nigga superpowers. He been slower than ever since he been with you. He is catching the ball running a 4.9. Running slow as hell. Hey, when he was with her though, he was flying out there. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, the other side of TikTok, the whites, they talking crazy about Kayla Nicole. They truly believe like she cannot hold a candle to Taylor Swift. Looks, status wise, all of that. My thing is like, Travis Kelsey is a man. He's a rich man too. Possibly the greatest tight end of all time, right? He ain't chasing no bag in a woman. He don't need Taylor Swift money. She got a lot more than he do, but he don't need it though. And he's a man. He much probably rather be the provider. But I don't really know how white people look at that. I don't know. But from what I'm seeing though, they basically like, hi, he won. He got the billionaire white bitch, pretty white, superstar, Hall of Fame musician, and this Kayla Nicole chick, she just, who the hell is she? Nothing. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, white people is funny, boy.
Travis Kaleidoscope only likes the aesthetic of black women. That's why he constantly tried to choose them. Because he knew that they were going to up his status. They were going to up his popularity because black women are the blueprints. Let's be honest. He knew from the very beginning that his family did not want him to marry Miss Kayla Nicole. He knew that they didn't like her. And if they did like her, it was on only surface level. But instead of doing the right thing and leaving her alone because he knew he wasn't going to marry her, he kept her around because of the status, because of the aesthetic. Mr. Travis Not Man Enough Kelsey was real fine when he was with a black woman, and he loved that. Why? Because of the attention that he was getting, the popularity that he was getting. Now that he's with Miss Taylor, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, he should be embarrassed. That popularity has gone down. That aesthetic is not there anymore.
Let's jump into my favorite part of all of the content I post on YouTube. And that's just my thoughts, where I get to kind of express what I feel about whatever we have read or gone over. So let's get into it. All right, we are back with another chapter to this saga, and it is absolutely wild. So the background to this is pretty simple. Swifties are still so disgruntled and upset about Kayla Nicole's silent and classy clapback with her Halloween costume of Tony Braxton and He Wasn't Man Enough for Me. They have gone and dug up old tweets of hers from like 2010. I think she was maybe like 20, 21 years old at the time. And the tweets are problematic. I'm not here to dismiss that. She was talking about black women. She was, standing for Chris Brown. She was talking about Mexicans. She was talking about Indian people. She was talking about fat people. Like it was a mess. And now back in July of this year, Kayla did herself admit to that behavior and she apologized for it. Okay, it doesn't make it right, but I can respect someone who has grown and can reflect on past behavior and apologize. And now Swifties and the white women who support her are very much wanting to now say, see, she's racist, she's this. And it's very disingenuous. And I need people to understand. Matt Healy, that very problematic man that Taylor Swift dated, has never apologized for his behavior. Taylor Swift was involved with that man twice. She has never addressed the problems with his behavior. So for any Swiftie to try to be upset or outraged or anything with Kayla Nicole's behavior, but you don't have that same exact energy and you haven't canceled Taylor Swift and you haven't really been loud and saying that's not okay what Matt Healy said, I don't want to hear it, because your outrage is selective and it's disingenuous. And this is why a lot of times black women know that white women are not allies and we can't take you seriously, because you're only mad because Kayla Nicole, you have some dirt on Kayla Nicole, because body is tea. The woman is gorgeous. She's educated. You can't throw all of those negative stereotypes at her that you like to hurl at black women when you feel in any way threatened, when you can't engage in those white supremacist, racist tropes. So, okay, she said something problematic at 20. It was problematic. I'm not here to dismiss it. And she apologized for it now at her good and grown age of like 34 years old. That's what she was supposed to do. That's part of being an adult. That's part of growing up. That's part of maturing and understand past behavior is not okay. And that is what adulthood looks like. Taylor Swift has never done that. Taylor Swift, and neither has that man that she was dating. So if you come in my comments on my video and you don't acknowledge that Kayla Swift already, Kayla Nicole already addressed this, and B, you don't have this same energy and outrage, you're disingenuous, you're fake, and you just hate Kayla Nicole because she's black and you won't admit that to yourself. Unpack your internalized racism and bigotry. Stop upholding Taylor Swift and hold her accountable for putting a song like Opalite out, because why it at her almost middle-aged self is she taking shots at her current partner's ex-girlfriend? It doesn't make sense. You need to address that immature behavior in your Lord and Savior Taylor Swift, that she is very problematic with the way she emotes. She won't address the fact that Travis probably behind the scenes is using Kayla Nicole to manipulate and beat her into being the form that he wants to be in, because men do that. And she will not stand up in her relationship and say what needs to be said. And she also won't act in a mature way to say that has nothing to do with me and I recognize what this man is doing. So do not come in my comments if you don't understand what's going on here. But I wanted to address this because the saga continues, and I'm already seeing things come in on other videos about this. Let me know your thoughts below if you understand what this is. This is a classic racism. This is classic about the way white women are extremely selective with what they are outraged by when they won't actually, because they don't have a problem with racism, long as they're the ones that are perpetuating it. They have no problem with saying problematic shit as long as they're the ones that are saying it, as long as white people are saying it. Because like I said, they don't have this smoke for Taylor and they don't have this smoke for Matt Healy. So I don't want to hear this fake selective outrage just because you don't like Kayla, and you won't just say I don't like her because she's black. That is the only reason. Anyway, let me know your thoughts below. All right, I had to get this one off my chest because it was blowing up on TikTok. And that's the part that people don't want to talk about, how accountability gets weaponized when the woman is black. Kayla owned her past. She apologized and evolved. It doesn't excuse it, but it shows maturity that she took accountability for it. But y'all's fave, Taylor Swift, has never addressed her own patterns or problematic partners. So if the outrage only applies when it's convenient, it's not justice, it's projection. If this conversation made you think differently about dating, race, and accountability, especially in pop culture, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're ready to go deeper into healing, boundaries, and self-worth, join my exclusive coaching community on Coffee. The links are below. Because sis, it's not about being perfect, it's about being self-aware, healed, and unbothered.